Kent Peters and Money Talk here with another video. So yesterday I talked about a contingency plan to avoid being homeless. But now here's a contingency plan if your parents go rogue and decide to kick you out. Legally, if you're over the age of 18, your parents could legally kick you out of your house, out of their house anytime they want. So if you're like 19 years old, you come home from work and all your clothes and all your stuff is outside of the yard. You ask your parents why my clothes are out there. They tell you that you're not living with them no more. Legally, there's nothing you could do at that age. Now, if you're like 17, they was doing that, yeah. They legally not supposed to kick you out when you're like a minor. But if you're an adult, they can kick you out anytime they want to. Now, was them kicking you out of your house justified? I mean, it depends. I mean, some cases, you deserve to get kicked out, especially if you're like starting fights with your brother, your sister, your mom, your father, fighting your parents. You deserve to get kicked out. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Now, if you were actually a good kid, you come home, you were good. You help around the house. You had a job. You wasn't sitting around all day playing video games. Oh yeah, that's another reason to kick your kids out. They're like doing nothing. They're sitting on their butt. They have no job playing video games. If you're that kid, I mean, you deserve to get kicked out. But sometimes some of these kids, they really don't deserve to get kicked out. Some are like really trying and to set their own life, especially these 20-something-year-olds. They be like in college, working a job. Sometimes their parents don't even pay for their college. So they're trying to get that degree to get a better paying job. Then they come home, their parents kick them out. That degree might be on hold now. So you gotta think the unthinkable. Maybe you're a kid, you're not even a teenager right now. You're like, my parents never kicked me out. Never seen me ever. Parents would stab you in the back. I mean, my parents never kicked me out. But here's the thing. They said as long as I was going to college, they weren't going to like charge me any bills. But they stabbed me in the back. I was still in college and all of a sudden they wanted me to pay like grocery bill. It wasn't a cable. No, it was a cable bill. Yeah, it was cable, then they started charging me groceries. And this is while I was in college? Yeah, I think it was while I was in college. So that makes my parents liars. Because they said that they weren't going to charge me any bills as long as I was in college, I think they said. Something like that. Also, I had a cell phone bill, but it was my choice to have a cell phone. So I can't really complain about that. Cell phones are like it's a utility now. A necessity, yeah. Cell phones for me is like a necessity now because obviously I use it for my job and to do videos for you guys. So the YouTube is kind of like a job I'm working on. I'm trying to build like 1,000 subscribers. Get that 4,000 watch hours to get income coming in. But now to prepare for when your parents are kicking you out. That's as soon as you get a job, which will probably be like, for me it was like 16 I got my first job. But some of these places hire you when you're like 14, like Publix. They will hire you when you're 14 years old. I remember I was 15, nobody wanted to hire me. I could not get a job. So it wasn't until I was 16 I was able to get a job. It was at Albertson. Lee, I tell y'all the story. So as soon as you get a job, start as young as you possibly can. because you gotta prepare before it happens. So also, you're 16. Your parents probably aren't going to kick you out. I know there's some exceptions, but legally, they're not. They're not really supposed to. So you get your job. If you're 16, start saving up money. And you're 14. It's even better because you get more time to build up money. You get it two extra years. Also, when you're 16, you can't get your own saving account. So, yeah, you're going to have to be on your parents' saving account. Now I think about it, I'm still on my mom's still on my main bank account now I think about it. Because I had the same account for since I was 16. But she never looks at it, just me. She doesn't, I don't believe she even knows the account number. So it was always me just getting into it. So the main thing you want to do is save as much money as you can. That's basically what I did. When I was 16, 17, 18, I was saving money like crazy. I had no bills. So basically every check I got, it went into the saving account, and I hardly ever even took anything out of the saving account. I miss those days. So you could do that too. You could just put money in that saving account, let it build up. But you might want to make a emergency fund. I mean, if you're over 18, you have a second banking account. And that could be your emergency fund. So that could be used in case your parents give you the boot. Also, you're 16. Also, you're 14, 15, 16, 17. You can't have your own. You can't open up a second account. I mean, technically you could, but your parents have to be on that one too. One thing you could do. This is risky. You could have a box. That could be your emergency fund. So you take money out there, put it in a box. But here's the problem with that. You might have that little brother, little sister, or even big brother or big sister come into your room and take your money. Some of us, it might be your parents taking your money. I mean, legally your parents shouldn't be allowed to take your money, but it'll be hard to prove that they took it. Some parents are justified taking your money, saying, well, you live under this roof, I'm allowed to take this money. So that may not be the best option. Maybe you had a safe, it might work. So yeah, that may not be the best option. So when you're a minor, you're kind of limited on what you could do with your money. But you have that saving account, just build up as much as you can. Obviously, you probably only have one account, like I said, but you want to have another for emergency. So as soon as you turn 18, or if you're already 18, make that second account, and that could be emergency. So there'd be your main account where you go in there, you take money out. That's your main account. But there could be an emergency. There could be a second account where take a certain percentage of your paycheck and put in that emergency account, and never touch it. Don't ever touch it unless it's an emergency. Also, you live with your parents still at this point, so there's really no need to really touch it. But let's say you were 18. Maybe you were able to get a second account when you were 17. You were able to do it. And we're going to say you put 10% of your income from your job. Maybe it was a part-time job like I used to have. Or maybe you were able to get a full-time job. You put like 10% of that into the emergency fund, and you did it for a few years. One day, you come home, you're like 21 years old, you come home, and your mom just like, I'm kicking you out, you're not going to live here no more. Well, you have that emergency fund, so that can help you out a little bit. Hopefully, your job's able to cover rent whenever you move out. Also, you're forced to move out, so hopefully, it's whatever you had in your emergency fund is able to cover a month, 2 months, 3 months. But while that is happening, hopefully your job's able to, hopefully you get enough income to cover a rent. But if you don't, I mean, there's other options. You can try to look for another job, or do that side hustle I be doing, Uber Eats. You can literally make $100, $200 in a single day. All just gonna mess your car up, so that's another thing you gotta worry about. So yes, it is rough when your parents stab you in the back to kick you out. So my tip, start as young as you can and save as much money as you possibly can. Obviously, when I was a teenager, I just had like one bank account. That was my main account. But if I tell my younger self, I'll tell my younger self to get like a second account, have like an emergency fund, and don't ever touch it. I would tell them, don't ever touch it. Just leave it in there in case something happens, in case your parents kick you out, or there could be other reasons you can have an emergency fund. Maybe you might have some medical problems. You might need that wisdom teeth removed. Maybe you want LASIK. I mean, I don't blame you if you want LASIK. Wearing glasses sucks, so I don't blame you if you really want LASIK. Hopefully it works. Or that emergency fund could be used to get another car. I mean, I don't suggest using the emergency fund to get another car, but that is an option. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all got something out of it. I mean, if you're a kid watching this video, save as much as you can, boy or girl, because you never know when your parents are going to put their foot down and decide to kick you out. You really can't trust parents. Like I said, my parents told me that they weren't going to charge me any bills when I was in college. But like I said, they started charging me a cable bill, then the grocery bill. So I feel like I got stabbed in the back. Now when I think about it, I remember what happened now. While my mom he made me pay a bill now. I remember. It was a dumb reason too. Then my dad added the grocery bill. So yeah, you can't trust your parents. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You want to see more of this content, hit that subscribe button, that bell button. That way you should be notified whenever I upload a video. And with that being said, have a good weekend. Bye for now.